Live here, trying these new cordless things out. So
We are
We are live, baby. Miss everybody.
yeah,
once again
sir.
Woo.
live at 5.
Finish this shit.
I'm happy to be back in the
There we go.
building, man. I
You
missed
guys
this
hear me?
shit.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
got you.
All right. Well,
Frankie,
we are
done
once again
fire.
live at 5 from the
I am. You know
Piranha
what I'm saying?
Garden. I am the Kingfish Mac.
That's it.
Welcome, everybody. Joined today by my brothers in the pond. First of all, let me just say this. We're going to be dealing with all kind of technical shit. I'm going to be moving around, cloning myself and some more shit because we back to the bad Wi-Fi. You see that orange screen behind me? That's the fucked up Wi-Fi. So it is what it is, though. I want to welcome everybody to the pond. Once again, I am your host, Kingfish Mac, Director of Parks and Recs, joined by my brothers in the pond. My boy, Mr. Frankie Non-Flyer. What's up with you, baby? Bye.
Bam, bam. What up, y'all? I'm in this bitch, man. Ain't been in this bitch about a week. I missed the pond. The water's kind of warm and nice. I'm ready to get my swim on, man. For sure.
That's right. And also, you guys know what it is. My boy, Mr. Nick Nurse. What's up, baby?
Shit, man, just floating along. You know what I'm saying? Not walking on by when I see the notification come through that we about to be live at 5. You know what I'm saying? So
You know
yee,
what I'm saying?
trying to make it. I see Frank on that
Float,
boat, on the
float
boat,
on.
looking at that water. I seen a little picture.
Oh, you see me observing the
Yeah.
young aqua festivities that was happening on the young boat. Yeah, man. That shit
I
was
thought you had
cool.
your
I
little
told you seen
dolphin
a
fin
whole
in your
bunch of
back pocket.
dolphins, man. It was like a lot of them bitches. Yeah,
Made
man,
the
I was
sound
pinned
too.
out. I dug
You
it. That was cool. Nah, we couldn't talk,
yeah.
man. They was
Does he
going
get
too
the
fast.
sonar on, baby?
That
On the way to
motherfucker, like,
Miami, huh?
they was going along the side of the boat, right? Like, there was no head-on shit. They was all going along the side of the boat, doing tricks and showing out and shit. Tried to holler at a couple of them.
Fish
They
you
was
could throw
busy.
him.
You know what I'm saying? I think they had the steps coordinated with shit. You know
They had
what
some sardines you could throw to
Well,
him.
I'm saying? I think they had that. Nah, we
Yeah, I would
wasn't
have
feeding
been
them or nothing. They was just fucking with us alongside of the boat.
jumping high to the motherfucker
There's a
out that
whole
water,
bunch of
huh?
them. A whole bunch of them. There's a lot of them.
Jumping
Yeah,
all
and
high out the
all the
water.
sizes too. Like I was saying,
And
yeah,
that's off the coast
they was
of
showing out, doing all types of little tricks. I'm telling
and
you, that
that's off
was
the coast
cool.
of Long Beach, right?
Yep. They
Oh
just
yeah.
drove to a spot, and all of a sudden they just started breaching. All of them. It was a whole bunch of them. Families, couples, nigga conglomerates. Nigga, it was a whole bunch of them. It was all over the place. It was dope.
Yeah, I would have been
That shit was
I would have been at that old cartoon, Mr. Olympic. Oh wow. No.
Yeah, but I
That's
guess
my
if we
partners
had some
right
food
there.
to fuck with them, if we'd have fed them, they'd have came and fucked with us, but they didn't give us nothing to feed them and shit, and then we couldn't
Yeah.
feed them off the boat. So,
Look, I'm saying
but
you
they
got
was out
SeaWorld
there.
all the way live over there. You know what I'm saying? You got
Real
SeaWorld
shit.
all
And
the way
all the
at the
dorsal
boat.
fins just pointed up. They was awesome too, man. Like they was nice. It was nice. Just a
And you know
whole
there don't be
bunch
no
of them too.
sharks around. There don't be no sharks around because they be getting at them sharks, dog. You know what I'm saying? Hitting them on the
Yeah,
side of their
hey,
gills, knocking them down.
yeah, a school of them or a herd of them, however the fuck they travel. Yeah, shark ain't got
Yeah,
no wind. The motherfuckers is smart.
yeah,
The
for real,
motherfuckers is
for real.
smart. At
Well,
the
I'm
end of the
happy you can
day,
experience some
the
stuff like
shark
that.
ain't what the problem.
You know what I'm
The
saying? That's
motherfuckers is
some balling.
violent too.
Yeah, that's
They
kind of
violent
balling
when they
kind of
doing it.
instinct.
They violent.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
just want
hey,
y'all to know
dolphins ain't no
y'all
punks though.
breaking
Like
up
they
in
violent.
13 different languages on my end, so I'm go to the phone scenario.
We hear each other though.
Yeah, yeah.
We I mean, they are violent when they mate, nigga, and they violent when they protecting territory, nigga. Dolphins is
Yeah.
gangster.
So how did the kids react to that? Or you was solo
Oh, they
bolo?
just, you know what I'm saying? They kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, it was me, Nico, and both the kids.
Oh
It
yeah.
was
So it
dope.
was like,
They dug it.
Daddy,
You know, they kids. You
yeah.
know, they dug it.
They be like, Daddy, you said that's your
Montre started to
friends.
get a little seasick at the end. Right,
You had to
but
take them little drum rolls.
the beam was all over it. Montre, Montre was
Mhm.
like he got a little seasick at the end, I guess, and they get set on the floor towards like the back half by like the back half hour, maybe 45 minutes. But
You be
Nova was
like,
all
yeah.
over that shit though.
You be like, no, don't be
James,
chumming the water. No, don't be chumming the water.
All right, there we go.
Ooh. Uh-oh. Back
hey,
all the way
I'm
live right
back
here.
in, right?
He got this.
yeah,
Yeah. With his ram
I,
attire on.
you on the
I
fucking
couldn't
He
baby?
hear.
ram it.
I couldn't
What you
hear
say?
none of the shit that
Man,
y'all was saying. Y'all all sound like y'all. Both of y'all sound like you was underwater and shit, right? But
hey,
I
Oh
we
well,
did
piranhas,
that's
man.
what we're
Turn
supposed to
up.
be. We
send,
piranhas.
just in case you guys hadn't gotten to it yet.
Yeah.
Did you stop? You
Hello?
froze up?
What happened?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
No,
What
you look
happened
like you
now?
froze up. We got you.
You guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah. I heard something about a
Can you hear me?
what you say, island tour trip.
got you. You good? No,
Yeah,
he
I
can't
can
hear
hear.
nothing.
You can't hear
What's up with
nothing,
the blank
Matt.
face? Yeah, he got a
Can you
blank
guys
I
hear
face.
me
don't
at
think he
all?
can.
Yeah,
We can hear you, but can you
sign
hear us?
language.
Or did the
Yes,
whole shit
we
freeze
can.
up?
Yes, we can hear
No.
you.
Can you hear us? We can hear you. Can you hear us? I think that's a negative.
Negative. No.
Yeah, he can't hear us.
Well, Piranha Pond, this is the things that we got to go through when we talk. You know what I'm saying? We're not rushing. You know what I'm saying? We're just trusting that the Wi-Fi, we have some trusting Wi-Fi going on over here. So, yeah, that's the thing.
All
But
right, we got to
anyways,
get our ears
shout,
together. We got to get our shit all together.
you know what I'm saying? The mermaid right now, you know what I'm saying? She dealing with some little medical issues right now. You know what I'm saying?
All right, let's try this shit again.
Little high blood pressure and
Yeah, that's what I was about to send a shout out to the mermaid who is a bit under the weather today. She definitely we can't hear us. No, I couldn't hear y'all. My shit was froze up. I don't know what the fuck was going on. But yeah, shout out to the mermaid. She's feeling a little under the weather. She'll be back with us hopefully tomorrow.
oh yeah.
Take care of yourself, Chef. You already know what it is. We don't even need to say. Keep us posted. Make sure your ass is all right. Love you. All right,
Oh
what we
yeah.
got going on today, fellas?
Yeah.
It's all kind of stuff.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm totally and completely unprepared. I've been driving all fucking day since this morning. I just got uh, so much fucking drama. In
Oh
any
yeah.
event, I'm here. I'm here like a big
All right.
dog. You know what I'm saying? My number one goal is to make sure that the fucking pond goes off unless it's absolutely impossible. Like it's
Oh
just
yeah.
me. But for the most
That would be
part,
the close.
we're gonna try to
That's what
make this. We're gonna try to make this shit crack. I'm gonna try to, I'm always try to get to somewhere where they can get the signal going at least. You know what I'm saying? Even if I can't fucking say nothing, I still kind of, y'all know what it is, man. But anyway,
I,
what's been
I, I,
going on over the weekend? Nick Nash, you've been hitting us off with YouTube squares and shit, right? I haven't had no great opportunities to pay no close attention to, none of the shit that you was posting. But what's been going on?
man, it's all about the new Delta vaccine that's coming out and it says put more people at risk when they get vaccinated. You know, it's a large number of Americans that's going into whatever that variant this thing, and it also the UK was like trying to put it on hold for the next 6 weeks or whatever, but uh, they have some concerns. So I'm just gonna put it out there, like y'all do your research. I don't want to put out no not. I don't want to put out the wrong information because I kind of got like start going into the little rabbit hole on a lot of this stuff, man. So it's just different, you know. It's how you look at it, and like we like we had said before, it's like I don't want to be all over the place with all this, you know, barrage of information that's coming in on, um, you know, and try to put some emotion behind it, and saying, well, like, damn, are they pretty much knocking off the older generation and sterilizing the young people. You know, I just got kind of like different things, you know what I'm saying, on that side of the game. But like I said, man, let God be the guide, you know.
it ain't no
Whatever
telling with
we're
these
trying to,
people.
you know what I'm saying, whatever is before us, you know, let's just have that, you know, that spiritual and that championship mindset to overcome this, because, you know, as my mama said, it's nothing that God will put on you that you can't handle. You know, just keep common sensibility about things, and we shall keep on rising to the top. You know, so and then
It's it's highly possible that it could be some type of population control type of shit. Like,
yeah,
it ain't no telling with these people, bro. Like, it ain't no telling. But at the same time, like you said, man, you got to keep your faith. You know
yeah,
what I'm
you
saying?
know what I'm saying. And
You got
people
to
have
keep your faith,
individual
nigga.
choices.
Mind yourself. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Do your research, look into it, and make the best decisions. Just, you know, good for yourself. That's all motherfucker can say at this point. Cause man, they be pumping all types
Mm,
of shit to us, nigga. Just the whole plastic shit, just wow, me.
yeah, but
Like
you know what
that
I'm saying.
shit
If you
has ingrained in us so tough that nigga, we all got that shit in us
yeah,
for
so
life.
Oh
so
yeah.
like I said, yeah.
It's just crazy.
So like I said, man, you know, it's individual
They'll
choices.
do anything, man. They don't give a fuck. It's all about the dough, bro. It's all about the dough.
Yeah, but you know, I just, you know what I'm saying, I just say it like this, right? It's everybody individual choices. You know, so would it do whatever rights with you if you right with, you know what I'm saying, with the higher powers and whatever think you're gonna preserve your life. But the number one thing is, right, uh build your mind strength. You know what I'm saying? Build your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Take common sense and put that in the forefront and let that lead you. No panic, no nothing, uh, on those lines. And yeah, let's get it, man, because we all gotta, you know what I'm saying, we get caught up in the conversation anyways off of this, you know, off of this thing trying to preserve life. So, you know, but like I
Well, I
said,
kind
man,
of,
Living in this,
I kind of got a different take on it, right?
hmm
Especially, since we're talking about this current wave of vaccinations and the social impact that comes along with it. And I said this shit the day that we had Uncle CJ come on. I think it might have been one of the things that sparked him to come on and give us a little bit more clarity from a healthcare professional's point of view, or somebody that's kind of in that field, right? But I think that the point that I was making was it was awful suspicious to me that they had all these various different incentive programs and shit, right, to make you go get the shot, right, in lower socioeconomic communities, right? So, you fucking black Mexican, you poor, you get the shot, you got a chance of winning 50,000 or half a million, whatever the number is, right? Now something else kind of came up. I had mentioned I had mentioned a scenario similar to this when I was talking about playing poker. Like I'm sitting there, it's nine of us, and it's supposed to be on the honor system whether or not you wear the mask, right? Like if you're not wearing the mask, then I'm just supposed to assume that you have both your shots, right? You fully vaccinated. And because I was saying this to having a conversation this weekend, and I was saying it's really a trip because they the stigmatization is already beginning. So when you walk in the
whoa,
casino, right, out here in Las Vegas, they have signs. As soon as you walk in the door, right, imagine a square sign.
hmm
At the top of it, it says fully vaccinated patrons, um, optional, mask is optional. Then right below that, it has uh, unvaccinated patrons must wear masks. Now, here's the thing: the top half of the sign is in green, the bottom half is in red,
whoa,
right?
stop.
So when you first coming in the door, they're hitting you with the subliminals, right?
hmm
right?
Then you have, again, like I was saying, everybody, mixed tables. So the people who are
there with no mask on are looking at the people with masks on, wondering why the fuck you ain't went and got your fucking shots, you selfish piece of
Right.
shit, right?
Wow. Yeah, that's deep, Frank. You know
Hey, that's crazy.
what I'm saying?
But it's not though. It's the point. That's the whole point of why they
Segregation.
doing it the way that they doing it, nigga. Because don't nobody single niggas out for flu shots, nigga. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Because the
and
flu shot ain't shit. But
and
Yeah,
this
so I
and
was
other
and,
saying
and yeah,
that
and
me,
then that sparked
I
right
got,
there, right? What I was actually saying, it's
am I
like,
back in yet?
yeah,
Am I back in?
Go ahead, finish your point.
yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, finish your run. Finish your
Okay,
run. Go ahead.
so what I was tripping off of is that I was reading something online this weekend where they were saying, uh, oh yeah, California, fully vaccinated California residents, you can access a digital record of your vaccination shit. And and I'm saying, and I'm saying, man, did I leave the keys in the car? I did. And I'm saying, it's because black people and white people don't understand each other. Yeah, so I'm saying, well, what the fuck is it? When is it that I need to check to make sure that I got vaccinated, right? I know I got vaccinated if I got vaccinated, right? So why would I have to look
Right.
at digital proof of my own vaccination? Well, the only reason is to show somebody else. And who is that somebody else?
Right.
Well, it starts with very innocuous shit. We sitting at the poker table, the lady with, two ladies with no fucking mask on start talking about the fucking vaccination, whether they got sick. One lady says, oh yeah, well, they've got the proof online now. And the other lady says, yeah, and she pulls out her phone and says, yeah, look, go to whoopie whoop 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 whoop. And then
No.
around the table, motherfuckers, let's just say I'm the lion ass nigga with no mask on and no
Stop
vaccination,
it.
right? Right?
What's your name on your player's card?
Right. When it comes time to my turn to show my motherfucking proof of vaccination or to go access it, I don't even attempt to. Why not? Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't
Get
I? You feel what? Because you didn't get it, motherfucker. You lying motherfucker. You feel what I'm saying? So it starts
Stop
with
it.
that. Then of course, you already got the getting on the airplane shits. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of,
At the end of the
that
day,
kind of thing. You're gonna
people
have
getting the plug
going
popped.
to particular resorts. You know what I'm saying? If you go to a particular place, they're going to require you to show proof of vaccination. And, all of that shit is coming into play. I was telling somebody this weekend, I might as well just go on and fucking figure out when I could afford to go lay down somewhere and just be sick for a couple of days because I know in a minute I'm going to be called upon to show some shit that I ain't got because I'm scared to get it. Shit.
I know this. I'm gonna
But you
find the
know what?
clearest and first discrimination lawyer ready to get some motherfucking money. That's what I'm gonna do.
But look,
So
so
here, so here's the
right.
piggyback on that, right? And this is why I was kind of jumped in there. So I was listening to Howard Stern this morning, and there was a big controversy this weekend because New York opened back up, and the Foo Fighters, big ass fucking rock group,
Mm-hmm.
motherfuckers did a
Mhm.
big ass concert. Of course, controversy was I don't know if you had to show proof of vaccination or if somebody wasn't let in, but there was a big ass fucking protest outside the fucking ticket office and the gates or whatever from the anti-vaxxer crowd
One
talking
time
about
Mhm.
you said
the
anti.
anti-vaxxer. Yeah, anti-vaxxers.
Yeah,
Anti-vaxxers
them
are people
motherfuckers
that
don't want
don't
to get
believe in
vaccinated.
vaccinations.
Okay,
They
go ahead.
they like fuck
Right.
polio shots, all that shit. They ain't fucking with you, right?
Right.
Okay.
And major conspiracy theorists and shit on the reasoning why. Now their thing is, well, if you begin to tell them that they can't come in this place, that place, or the other place, then they're trying to equate that to being discriminated against during the civil rights era. So once again, niggas is being held up. The nigga struggle is being held up as something. Nobody never says that this shit is
Because
as
it's gonna be a
bad as
lot of
the
niggas in that
Holocaust.
struggle though. It's go- it's gonna be a lot of niggas in that struggle, especially if you can get some money from it. You got all that.
So, and the thing is, right? Like I
I
said, I
don't
don't
think
ever want
I
to.
don't think you're gonna have no traction. I think what you're gonna be is, just a group of motherfuckers that's looked at as some fucking selfish weirdo motherfuckers. Like, why wouldn't you get the shot? The same way we look at people
Right.
who
But if you can
don't
get,
get
if you
don't
can
don't
shoot
don't let their
motherfuckers,
kids go to school because they won't give them the fucking Tdap shot or the fucking whatever inoculations you need to start going to school. You
Booster
have those
shots and all
parents
that
that
shit.
be like fuck that,
but I don't
or
look at the
parents that
motherfuckers
won't
in no
take a
way at
blood
all.
parents that won't take a blood transfusion for their kid or won't let them take medicine and the kid dies and shit. We be looking at that shit like,
Oh,
the fuck
man.
is wrong with you? Well, I think that they're gonna start looking at those of us
Speaking
who ain't got that
personally,
motherfucking double
I
tap.
don't.
Yeah. So, like, and the thing is, right? So, uh, I was going across some more stuff, man, and so, what I'm saying, just put a disclaimer out there, you know, uh, that I ran back across the little dude, Riz of Islam, right?
She's right here.
And
Follow
then,
me. Now she's following me.
what I'm saying, the little Riz of Islam thing, he said with a panel of doctors, and it was like, wow, like he really, like they actually put their careers on the line to actually bring to the forefront. You know what I'm saying? As far as uh, the basis of, or in the theory behind it, because what I'm saying, it's science fiction tale is proven to be scientifical.
She's telling science fact.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, wow, if all these
And that's
things
the thing.
added up to where it's like, where it's the betterment for humanity, right? That's really comes down to, right? Better for humanity, right? Or you're gonna say, okay, well, we could lose these many to whatever, underlying health issues, so forth and so on, or diet, or immune system. But like we all know, if a lot of us don't know that your immune system is in your gut, in your stomach, and like I said, like I'm, uh, kind of hip to it now. The things that I've been overlooking for years because I was focused on working more than actually invested in my health, right? But that's where it all starts at. So giving something in my arm, what I'm saying, to try to get to my gut and, what I'm saying, filter throughout all my system and enter my bloodstream and stuff like that. Then I really started thinking about it. I was like, after all that, where's the cure for sickle cell? I'm like, what I'm saying? Like, really? It plagues the African American community, right? But all these other underlying things where they didn't come now, all of a sudden you got multi companies, saying rushing to the table is like, all right, this is the basic operation right now. Saying everybody jump on board because I want to say the last time I had texted y'all, right? It was like saying that, you know, 45% of the nation, it's like, nah, I'm not doing either one, the all in one, this, and this. But then it morphed over to all college kids, all the young men that's graduating from high school before they even think about entering the college realm, they have to get vaccinated. Period. Before you enter college, everybody who's going to get admitted to college has to take the vaccine shot. I'm like, wow. I thought it was freedom of education if you pay your money. You know what I'm saying? Do that come along with the bonus?
But here's the thing, though. All that shit is only running because motherfuckers is allowing that shit, so they can't force you to do shit. And despite the fact of the examples Max set out, it's a wide variety of people that are affected by this. Like with the kids, most shit they get vaccinated before adults don't even get no more. A lot of shit don't even exist no more. So that's just all about money in the first fucking place. That shit don't mean shit to shit. That's all about dough too. With this shit, because it'll affect actual, if it can, I ain't gonna say it will. It can affect actual economic situations if you got a large amount of group of people that aren't vaccinated and they start boycotting and riding on that shit about their rights and not being forced to do shit. then it's a totally different situation. And you know lawyers are gonna trump at the bit to be on that shit too. Like it can be a very,
I don't
very
think
difficult
that
situation for the United
I don't think that genre of people got that kind of traction though. I think that they
Mm.
are so far. Even if let's just put us in that group because ain't none of us had fuck worth a shot. So I think that we are in the minority. You know, and then especially if you start talking about people who are vehemently opposed to getting vaccinated, people who are opposed for political reasons rather than health reasons, then you start you know having the social pressure of you being viewed as selfish as shit and willing to put your fellow Americans at harm or death to satisfy your political shit that I could do what I want to because this is a free country. Free ain't always free.
right,
Yeah. So just like I say,
right.
right? So now, like I said, disclaimer. So why they didn't vaccinate the whole military and they all over the world?
But that
So
that
why has
that's
the military
but see, and that's what I'm saying though. It's, even in that
going over
fact,
everywhere? So
you
is it a
will
world
have those
issue or
people
what?
that, well, eventually it will have to be because they
No,
have
but
worst
they
cases in
they
the
I
United
don't know.
States,
I
and
don't
I
know
bet
what
you
the
pretty sure they're
I
starting
don't
to
know
think
what
on
the
vaccinating
policy.
motherfuckers. And
I,
and thank you, bump up the numbers to scare motherfuckers into getting that vaccine. Like it, dude, it could be a situation. You know what I'm
yeah. I
saying?
talked to somebody in
Because
the
the
military and
majority,
they
as in
said
white people, may not be the majority at all.
so. I talked to
Because
a
if you
couple of
talk to a
people.
lot of motherfuckers in our neighborhoods or a lot of motherfuckers that's around us that are vaccinated, you gotta imagine how many motherfuckers that are like us, as opposed to
So
what
I
they telling us, and the
yeah.
motherfuckers that are getting vaccinated.
I talked to a couple of people that's enlisted in the military present day, right? And they pretty much just like us. They say it's not governed by the FDA. It's not cleared by the military, wherever this is. So, you know, because when you think about it, right, military is the first people to actually get something if it was to protect our forces against a foreign disease or threat, right? So they line you up in line. You have no choice. You belong to them, right? If they say all y'all line up, cut your hair, I all want y'all to look the same, no facial hair, and here we're gonna go ahead and plunge this thing in you, and this is what you signed up for. So they was like, oh no, it's not even going down like that, Frank. None flyer. So
Because
hey,
if they take down half of their motherfucking military force, we ain't gonna be able to fight. And they don't know what the fuck is in that shit. They rather test that shit on the people than test that shit on the military, nigga. That's what's
but
not gonna happen.
I'm saying, so would you bait the but like I'm saying, would you say that if we based on things because they moved National Guard, so forth and so on, police departments and all the rest of that stuff, right? If they here to protect us, but we have the right to go there or say it would be like you said, it's a thing. So wouldn't people be more comfortable by saying that they're armed people to protect us? Is stepping up to it that it will market to it going to the public. So that's what
If they get that shit to the military and they wipe out half of the motherfuckers in there, they gonna feel stupid as fuck. That's why they
the
giving it to
draft
them
then
like
the
that, because
draft will
they
come
still
back
don't know
up.
what the
Then we'll
fuck
be
is
like
gonna happen.
the draft. So me and you probably be out there. But
Shit.
anyway,
Yeah, they gonna
so
find a way to kill us somewhere. Yeah,
so the
yeah.
thing is, right?
And
The
all of
the
that
other
shit
thing.
though, like all that shit gotta come into play.
So like I said, I talked to my homeboy, right? And there was another thing that came up. This whole Juneteenth thing, right? It's like we never knew nothing about it in the first place growing up.
well, it's funny that you mentioned that because that was I wanted that to be our end of the week fucking pod, and then I ended up being on the goddamn freeway and didn't get to do the pod on Friday. But
It could be the week.
this week or last week, Congress voted into law that Juneteenth be a federal holiday,
Yeah,
and um, I had a whole little thing that we was gonna do on the historical relevance and some of the some of the critiques because we have had quite a few criticisms from very prominent um, people in black media with very big platforms, kind of saying they don't fuck with Juneteenth. First, let me
Yeah.
say this.
Right.
I am from, I'm a little older than both of y'all, so I am from the Black History Week era, right? We had five
Oh yeah,
days.
yeah.
That
The
was it.
publication. Yeah.
No, I'm just talking about in school. In school,
Oh,
wasn't no
okay.
Black History Month. It was Black History Week. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And in Black History Week, you learn Rosa Parks, Harriet Tubman, Frederick
Martin Luther
Douglass,
King.
Crispus Attucks. Oh, somebody got hemmed up. Police followed their ass all the way into the parking lot, to the back of the parking lot.
hmm
Anyway,
For on
and
location,
then
nigga.
in the yeah in the more in the more common era, it was just more about entertainers, right? So you learned
Yeah.
about Lena Horne and Pearl
Sidney
Bailey, who
Poitier.
both of them were still alive. Sidney Poitier was still alive. So those were our current heroes. What we didn't learn about is Malcolm X, Rosewood,
Mega
uh,
Everts.
Black Wall Street,
Mega Everts.
Medgar Evers. I learned about Medgar Evers when I was in college. Crazy.
Frederick
So,
hmm
Douglass, nigga.
and more relevantly, Juneteenth, right? Like
Period.
we were hearing rumblings of Kwanzaa, because um,
Lamert Park,
the
L.A.
guy that the guy that created Kwanzaa was local. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? He taught at USC, so he was kind of in local black in the local black power movement type shit. So
Yeah.
we kind of knew about Kwanzaa, but nobody was practicing it because we was on some shit like, don't nobody want no handmade gifts. I want GI Joe with the Kung Fu grip.
Keep
What
that
Atari
you talking
PlayStation
about,
coming.
right?
Yeah,
2600.
yeah. Keep that Nintendo coming.
You talking
Run the
about
Yeah.
Nintendo.
Kujakalea and Nia and Ujama and all these different, Swahili principles. And of course,
Unless you
I
Asian.
am of the you are an African booty scratcher era,
Yeah.
right? So, you know,
Inglewood.
the older generation was kind, like who would be my big cousins or whatever would have been pushing, some black awareness, but the traditionalist was with Christmas and Easter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they was white. So shit, white Jesus on the wall, all that. So my point being is that we didn't learn shit about no damn Juneteenth.
No.
Secondly, when we did learn about Juneteenth, it was learned in kind of like a celebratory way. It was as though June the 19th was the day that we were emancipated. But Willie D, who was paraphrasing Judge Joe Brown, who right now is my hero, Judge Joe is off the fucking chain, right?
I
Yeah,
thought they
yeah.
I
I be
canceled
would
him.
watching the
invite
podcast
anybody
too.
to just YouTube Judge Joe Brown on
Yeah.
anybody's platform, right? He's liable to pop
I
up
watch his
on the pond, right?
I watch his
Because
Yeah.
podcast.
he on some
Yeah,
shit, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I watch
Right?
his
I
podcast.
So
thought they tried to cancel
Judge,
him.
man, Judge Joe is
He
uncancelable. How
don't give a
about that?
fuck.
Let's go with
Yeah,
that,
he don't give a
right?
fuck. Yeah,
He
he don't
don't
give a fuck
give
about none of
Hey,
that.
three shits,
None of that.
right?
but you,
None of
hey,
that.
what you just said is cold. What you just said,
None of
right?
that.
Because this dude
He wish a
is an
nigga would, nigga.
look. And the thing is, right? You
Right.
can't look. And the thing is, right? You can't discredit him because he is a circuit court judge. He's a judge, so he have to have
But
knowledge
that's
of
what
what
he
he's talking
said.
about.
That's what he like. I wish a nigga would. Nigga, I work way too hard for my shit. Fuck y'all. Fuck this and fuck that. Nigga. The
The thing
judge of
about
Brown
Judge
real. He
Joe
on
is
his real
that
shit.
all you can say about Judge Joe is he old and cranky and crazy, but he ain't
No, he
none of
not.
the. I mean, he
Nah.
old, but the shit that he be saying be
But he
making so
real
much
though.
fucking sense and be historically accurate.
But he
Because
real.
Yeah.
nigga gonna go Google some shit after he Judge Joe Judge Joe is on this Quincy Jones shit right now.
Oh man, see now
I'm
now
old
you
and
just
I don't
spark
give a
something else.
fuck if you mad, right? I'm gonna tell
Look,
you what it
I got
is and get mad. So what? You get
yeah.
if you in your feelings, you gay. He on some shit like
Wow.
that,
Right.
right? Anyway,
Right. And I'm right with Judge Joe,
Willie D.
bro,
I was
man.
watching Willie D last
I
night.
love his podcast.
Yeah, I was watching Willie D, and Willie D did a segment on Judge Joe saying he don't fuck with Juneteenth, and the reason why was
Speak about it.
Now, I haven't had time to go research this, so I'm just going to say allegedly, but I'm going to go with it's probably more true than not. So the way that we learn about Juneteenth is, 10 months after Lincoln signed, or 6 months after Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, people down in Texas, slaves in Texas were not made aware. And so they were still toiling them fucking plantations for a whole 6 months. And then when they learned of, the Emancipation Proclamation had been signed, that it was such jubilee and that we're supposed to carry on in the tradition of that celebration, celebrating, But the thing about it, and this was what Judge Joe was saying, well, Willie D was saying, Judge Joe was saying, is that in January, when Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, they sent a black emissary down to Texas to let them know. Right?
Don't say it.
And
don't say it. The white man.
He didn't make it. For whatever reason, he didn't make it. Some say he got lost. Some say he got assassinated. Some say he just didn't take the job. You know how they gonna paint a nigga trying to do a fucking important job. But for whatever reason, he never made it. So the word never got down there. And then there was a white northerner who happened to be passing through and seen fucking blacks out there working on the plantation and was like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Why are y'all still working? They like, what you mean? Master, they was like, nah, your ass is free. And then organized some whites or whatever to come and, make it official in Texas, because Texas wasn't telling them a fucking thing. Right?
Just take the hold
right. Right.
Oh, stop it, man.
Right. So that's what Judge Joe was saying, is that how the fuck are we gonna celebrate a monumental blunder on the part of our fucking people, right? That had to be righted by some fucking whites that just happened upon
if that's even
fucking circumstance.
True,
Right. Again, like I said, allegedly, because I ain't took the time to research the shit. I actually saw that shit yesterday.
I'm that part, I'm sure that shit didn't happen like that. Niggas knew, and niggas, man, that's crazy. Always a white person, right?
But the thing is, right? So I could, like what we said right there, right? Because we don't want our livelihood to end. It means that you don't have no housing no more. You don't have a structured life. You just got to go out in this naked world when you're so used to this part of your life, right? So you probably don't want to accept it. It's that they call that stuff now, Mac? PTSD,
Munchausen syndrome or some shit.
What's the other one? It was like when you go to war.
Post-traumatic stress disorder?
Yeah,
PTSD.
whatever that new thing is. I thought PTSD, right? So whatever that came up in 2015 or something, or whatever, and it's like that's what people trying to, justify why they're not taking causes actions, because the forefathers or whatever been through all this stuff before. But it's relatively apparent, right, that sometimes we don't want to accept, because people are really not defeated. We just take a loss. We just get disappointed that it didn't work out like we thought it was going to work out. So right there, changing lives, all this stuff that we've been talking about, man, actually changing lives. Like, what are you going to do, right? What are you going to do to step up to the plate? And like you said, use, just like from allegedly we said, like, use your common sense, right? Is this really going to make you feel good, or is it going to have a significant change? Especially when they just took out, you can't teach about slavery in school. So how you just going to bring that right to the picture? Like, I want to know about it, and I'm inquisitive about this, fact.
That's real. That's an interesting point. That's an interesting dilemma. How do you celebrate a national holiday that celebrates the all the way ending of slavery, the last vestiges of slavery, and of course the start of Jim Crow? But at the same time, you can't teach about slavery. The thing about it, and I'm about to answer my own question. I think that the way that that legislation is kind of written up is that it's not that you can't teach that slavery was an actual thing, but you cannot teach a curriculum that characterizes the United States as fundamentally or inherently racist.
But
Or
And
responsible.
it's the
how do you explain slavery? Of course, you can just throw some general shit, right? And say, oh well, there's been slaves all over the world, but fundamentally, slavery over the world has been fucking ethnic based, all the way back to the
yeah,
Jews in fucking Egypt.
yeah. But the thing is, right? So, or they could say they could baseline it of indentured servants, whether you was a victim of a crime or that you did a crime. Now you got to pay back. What? How they say your pay back your time
Debt
of
to society.
restitution, debt to society. You know what I'm saying? But they can make up anything. Oh, you walking out here in the street with no shoes on, so you didn't violate. Or you defecated the ground. Then you go work on cracking rocks. Send you to fucking Alcatraz,
Making license
selling
plates and
crab.
shit.
Because that is from what I know in the history thing, even with lobsters or whatever, the actual Polish and the Irish was shipped to, what I'm saying, up there in Maine, and they to punish them, and the food they had to eat was lobster and whatever kind of whatever, but it turned into a delicacy.
Yeah, they sent
You know
them
what I'm saying?
niggas
Maine lobster,
on that shit. On that
butter.
shit with that deadly escalation or that dangerous shit, them niggas had to do that shit. They wasn't
Yeah,
sending average motherfucking Joes and motherfuckers that was out there. Nah, nigga. They was sending them out there to do that shit. And they wouldn't give a fuck if they lost 12 of them bitches. They had to
yeah.
go keep sending
But you
their
know what I'm
asses
saying? They
out
bring
there
them to
doing
the
the
prison
dangerous shit.
system or whatever. So, and this is a key point, like you said, Matt. Right? So everything now is getting the common sensibility out of everything, right? So when we say it's factual, so whatever you had in this man-made book that we've written up of history, or the variances of it, or how you view it, you know, everything was for capital gain. Everything was for making the infrastructure grow. You know what I'm saying? So you
It's
actually
all
become
about the
a
dough, bro.
yeah, you actually become a slave to corporate. You know what I'm saying? Because then you can
Kiss
say,
my
well,
ass.
it went on to mercantile, it went into construction, it went into building these dams, the infrastructure of the United States. It was cheap, unfair labor. That's how the labor laws came into effect. Because we say, but then they morphed it to these probably on that you actually, if you want to use a slave to the system now, because if we go get locked up in somewhere in freaking Texas, probably on the phones belong to their company, their corporation, the food. Now they're making license plate potatoes, uh, chickens. I know in California they had the chicken farm, the egg farm, uh, Salinas Valley for the
Pigs
all of the
and
stuff,
shit.
ratchet making. You know what I'm saying? Greens, picking fruit, all that. So what, like, what
But
is it?
okay. So look, right? No, go ahead.
I say, so what is it that we can't tell somebody, or you're a slave in your own mind? Slave mentality. We didn't even take that way. Yeah, I don't know.
See,
It's kind of crazy.
here's the thing too. How Mac was asking, how can we celebrate it? It's gonna be painted in the minds of the generations to come that again niggas were saved by white folks, like as in the story with the dude just happening upon a bunch of niggas in the plantation, and it was like, oh man, y'all tripping, follow me, you're free, type shit. That's how that shit is gonna be celebrated, and that's how it's gonna be justified in terms of how they teach generations about this particular holiday. It's not gonna be, yeah, somewhere along the way we went to send word to a black adversary and maybe he was murdered, maybe he died on the way, maybe he stole the money. Like none of that shit. It's gonna be, yeah, somebody dude stumbled upon some slaves and was supposed to be slaves no more. Freed your asses again. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, that's how it's
Yeah.
gonna be celebrated.
Well,
So
that's like,
to kind of address what Nick was saying, right, in terms of what both of you are saying in terms of the economic shit, it's always been some low key psychological shit, that's involved that kind of keeps us in that slave mentality, right? So you go from the straight slavery, right? And what we have to understand is, you had 300 years of that shit, right? Like that shit wasn't like just no World War II, in internment camps or some bullshit like that, right? For a couple of years and then all back to normal. No, you had generations and generations and generations of people who were born into this life, knew nothing other than this life, right? There was no idea. The only idea of a different life, it was almost like us talking about robbing Fort Knox. You know what I'm saying? It's like, wow, like, yeah, we know motherfuckers that then rob banks, then got away with it. Fort Knox, man, I don't think I'm gonna be able to get away with it. So you just stay where the fuck you are, and you just live that fucking life. Now, in saying that, you have to acknowledge that within that life, there were, people made allotments, you know what I'm saying, and made themselves okay with whatever their particular life looked like, right? But it was still slavery,
So
right? So wait, then you move forward. There's no slavery, but it's the sharecroppers era, because you said, well,
there we go.
one of you guys said, hey, well, shit, you free, but where the fuck you gonna go? You out to just roam the fucking land, starve, eat berries and shit? No, you do what the fuck
13th
you've been
Amendment.
doing for generations and generations and generations and generations. Now you're doing it with the psychological idea that, well, shit, I was free. Now you're doing the same fucking work, right? You getting a
Yeah.
little bit more of the hog, than what you was getting, as just a straight up slave. So you told that, yeah, this is your shack, but that shit is not passed down generationally. You know what I'm saying? Like if you leave or you get, you decide that you're gonna bounce, that shack belongs to the next motherfucker that want to come do some sharecropping. And so basically, what you're doing is you're doing the hard work in order to sustain a living. And that living, you've made yourself okay with it. Yeah, you can kind of see yourself living in the big house and being some industrial giant, but not really. Right now, I just got to do this because this is what my life looks like. And now you come up to, let's fast forward another 100 years. And now you got the prison industrial complex, because remember what's written into the 13th Amendment is there shall be no slavery. There shall be no slavery or involuntary servitude except as punishment for a crime, fucking felony, right? So now you just shift the whole slavery concept to, indentured motherfuckers, right? Like, what else are you gonna do? You gotta work. You know what I'm saying? They put your ass on that chain gang with the mother. Now, I'm not talking about 2016 to 2021 prison. I'm talking about 1956 Angola, nigga.
Yeah.
Where your ass is on the chain gang breaking rocks, nigga, with a motherfucker with a gun and a whip on a horse over your dog ass. You back in slavery, because guess what? You doing that. If you don't do that, then you don't get to eat in the cafeteria. Your ass go to the hole and you eat fucking loaf. You know what I'm saying? You eat the shit loaf. You know what I'm saying? So for your particular station in life, you in prison. This is what it is. I got life in fucking joint, 99 years in Angola. I'm gonna be here. What do I do? Well, shit, I'm gonna do what's necessary to make my stay as reasonable within the confines of what I think reasonable is, right? Just like the slaves did. The motherfuckers that didn't run, didn't mouth off, and just, was, come on now, you're gonna get us all fucked up. Them was the motherfuckers that kind of like settled with, look, this is what life looks like. Now, you can even take that shit now and take it out of the prison industrial complex and just take it to the whole, you had a whole 4-year fucking argument in Congress about raising the minimum wage to $15 an hour. $15 an hour. Let me say it again. that's $120 a day before taxes. I pay that in hotel fee.
Yeah.
$120 a day, you motherfuckers is arguing about whether or not that is a living wage. So
Yeah.
what that tells me is that you just want to keep a motherfucker in some kind of boundary, some kind of fucking servitude, some kind of mental slavery in order for them to maintain just a regular standard of living. You're not fucking feeding no dreams. You're not building nothing to fucking get out of your scenario. Your ass is going to work for this $15 an hour. And guess what? They don't want to give it to you.
So
They
this
settle
is
for 11.
yeah. So look, I was talking to my mama the other day,
California is
right?
14 or
Yeah.
13 or some shit, right?
Look, so I was talking to my mama the other day, right? So she said when I was
I was
born,
too. I talked to your mama yesterday for an hour and a half. I love your
so
mama so much.
yeah, I love her too, man. She's the one, but she be putting in perspective, right? Because I actually brought it to her attention, right? I said, Mom, I remember the first job I had, I was making $3.75 an hour. I made a life. Then I took it to the next level. I said, so you tell me with this new thing of high value men, high value women, I know about 18,000 kids that was born with parents that was making my parent $1.25 an hour for years.
Right.
Wasn't that hard?
My first job, they paid me I think it was 360 an hour or some shit like that. It was some
Yeah.
little shit.
But I'm saying
I
everything,
think I might
you
have
know,
decided on that job that I'm really not for this working for a paycheck shit. I think I need to find something else to kind of make money or something. I don't know.
but I'm
I'll
just
sell
saying, right?
shoestrings.
Yeah. So the thing
Hey,
is, right?
it's in
Oh,
your blood,
the
man. You
boy,
probably
the
come from a
boy's
long
grocery
line of
baskets.
hustlers.
You know what I'm saying?
Really,
And the thing,
real
right?
skill.
But look, then in,
Right.
in my in my in my mind, right? I took it all the way back to the crack era, right? I said, and if I'm not selling quarter pieces, right? I'm selling, you know what I'm saying, stone for stone, right? So average, I could make, you know what I'm saying, $20 an hour, or $20 in 30 minutes, right? The average every 30 minutes, $20, right? And I'm like, okay, well, that's sustainable for me to get with that reinvest in my entrepreneurship, although they said it was wrong, right? And as you start going
Well,
up and up and up.
remember it, I think that people concentrate on the end result. You either concentrate on the end result or the idea, right?
Hmm.
I mean, not us. I'm saying people, right? People
Yeah.
that generally say, well, fuck it. I'm going to be in business for myself. So they either fall in love with the idea of being in business for themselves or they fall in love with the idea of it making X amount of dollars and being self sufficient and rich and all the shit that comes along with that. What we
Yeah.
understand is that the importance is in the journey. Like, I need to get
There
this
you go.
shit rolling and then keep it going. And if it keeps
Yeah.
going, it's going to pay me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
The money ain't
So
the
I'm
object.
not right. So I was I was talking to somebody today on my drive up here, and as it turned out, I was listening to a podcast on Kevin Hart's network, some chicks called Girls 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 Room or some shit like that. Girls something. Anyway, what the little chick said that was real poignant is she said, "Yeah, these millennial girls, um, they not thinking about the long range shit. They only thinking about um, what they generating right now. So as soon as it comes in, you spend it, right? So you see
Hmm.
young girls, 23, cute as a motherfucker, Instagram models or OnlyFans girls or whatever, however you getting your money on your beauty, your youth and your beauty, and you figuring shit, I'm in this zone. This zone is never gonna end. This is what I'm gonna be doing forever. But we all
Nope.
know there's a shelf life on every fucking thing, right?
Everything.
Especially you talking about physical beauty
Right.
and shit, right? If you ain't an actress who can grow into different roles and shit, right? If everything that you kind of fucking predicating your success on is youth and good looks and your willingness to put that out there, then at
Hmm.
some point you're gonna run out of fucking time. So now is the time to be getting your bread up, right? And stacking or investing for the future. But the millennial way of thinking from what this
There's no
girl was
future.
saying, was that no, not that there's no future, is that this is a bottomless well. So
Oh,
there's no end. There's no end to
wow.
this, right? So I'm
Ooh,
not even thinking about being 70 because I'm living for today, right?
wow.
Now, of course, when you turn 30, you know what
It's
I'm
over.
saying, and the next end chick is willing to do some shit on camera that you ain't, right? She taking it to that next level that you're not
Hmm.
willing to go because you didn't, develop some fucking morals or whatever yourself. Not my standards, your standards, right? And then what you do is you start getting left out of shit, right? It's kind of like in the
Period.
'70s and shit, right? When when black exploitation hit and shit, it was like take your titties out, right? And you had a
Yeah.
lot of established black actresses that was like, fuck that. What is the fucking reason for this? And fucking Italians was like, gratuitous sex. What the fuck you mean? Niggas want to
Hmm.
see titties. That's what. Every
Yeah.
fucking reason we got to take your titties out, taking these motherfuckers out. And so then it became, are you willing to roll with that? Well, Pam Grier said, these are just titties. You look at these motherfuckers all day. How much? 40,000
Yeah.
a picture, which is like 1.5 million right now. She's like, shit, sign me
Yeah.
up for 6 of these bitches, right? where
Period.
where where Tamara Dobson or somebody like that just want to kick ass. You know what I'm saying? In a tight suit. So what I'm
Yeah.
saying is that at some point the new in chick comes and is willing to take it to the next level, which leaves your ass kind of out of getting some bread, right? So what do? And
Oh,
um,
whew.
there
Adapt
is
and
no
adjust, nigga.
idea
Show them titties
of
or die on your sword.
there. Say it again.
I said adapt and adjust, show them titties or die on your sword. Goddamn it.
Oh yeah.
Right.
But what I'm saying. So, and I like how you brought up that point, right? Because the who was that did it? What's her name? Latoya Jackson. Then the epitome of in the '90s. Stacey Dash had to because she wasn't getting no more movies. Stacey Dash had to get in there. That was like her last run.
Shit, your girl Holly Berry, man, had to show them titties at one point in time in her motherfucking
Which
career. She
one?
had to show
Holly Berry,
My
she
shit
had
Holly,
to
all
get
right.
it
Holly
all the way
Berry,
in with the
Holly
dude.
Berry would, Holly Berry wouldn't do no explicit nudity, right? And then she broke down for the white boy John
Mm-hmm.
Travolta, right?
Until her
No,
shit
no,
In
no,
started
no.
slumping after she
Silverfish or
did
whatever
that
the fuck
bullshit
it
ass
was, right?
Catwoman and her movie started slumping. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
she did the
she did that shit to
Silverfish
get back
thing,
in.
right? Which the movie was a critical flop, but the motherfucker did good because you had Holly Berry laying on a motherfucking lounge chair by the
Holly Berry
pool
titties.
with them beautiful titties right out. And
But then
then
she
once
did
she
the other
said
one.
fuck it,
All right.
and then did Monsters Ball, they gave her ass
Ball.
an Oscar.
They start shooting the shit, nigga. Yeah,
Yeah. So,
yeah,
but and
yeah,
you know what, Mac?
yeah.
That's a cold uh way of looking at it, right? Because that is what we have in our mind, and when we actually project out there. I was telling my homegirl today, like I was driving back up the hill, right? I see endless possibilities. I start having anxiety, mouth breathing, and all the rest of stuff. It like this hit me because I let go a lot of these things that I had in my head. Like I gave it up. You know what I'm saying? In the status I thought because what I'm saying, we didn't have all that. Now I'm living my future, right? From when I was younger to right now, I'm living my future at this present day, right? So all the stuff like we've been talking about, and this is a good release for all of us, right? Because now it's not saying that, you know what? It's okay to not hold our tongue no more and tell people because when you think about it, right? We go back and say, man, I wish I would have just offered some advice to Whoopty Wop. I wish I would have offered some advice to that. It probably have been a different scenario. But I didn't free myself up from that by like my stuff don't make no sense. And you said it the other day, man. OG, why you talking to me like you my whatever? But it's like no, the information needs to be heard because now they're relying on this digital platform all the way to where it's like I could swipe it and my genius could come through. And that is the coldest thing what you just said. Whoever this was on Kevin Hart's network said that I'm in infinity. They can keep on replaying my thing. They can keep on seeing views. And upload the date and splice it and share it, and it could go off because you locked in, right? But if they look at you, what the real thing is, not saying somebody hit you in the eye was being violent to you, or some girl that scratched up your face, or how they did in the 90s, somebody hit you with the whoop, or you think you like this, or in New Orleans when they used to snatch out your medallion earrings. Oh, now you got the little split in your ear, so you can't be an earring model no more, a fingernail model. You know, so damn, some cold shit, dog. Thank you, Piranha Pine, for opening up my eyes some more, and so, you know what I'm saying, and having this, positive thoughts and positive outcomes that we need to actually apply and execute now. You know what I'm saying? Because now it's about the execution. So you try to build all this stuff to misdirect us, but we're not being misdirected no more. God damn it! How about that?
Oh, of course not. We in the building now. Hey, but you know what I want to say though? Um, in terms of motherfuckers who was hustling, man, and selling dope and shit, like it's only bags they couldn't tax that shit. They sell more dope than a little bit. Don't get that shit twisted. Nigga,
I always
grind
said
your
that.
grind, man. Yeah, grind your grind,
I used
man.
to
Cause
have
them motherfuckers,
arguments.
fuck that.
I got. I had a chick. I had a chick that was in my life when I was young, young and active, super active and shit, right? And she had known me for years, and she used to ask me, like, I think that people think that because I have a decent amount of words stored up in my fucking head, and um, the ability to kind of think a little bit, that the choices that I've made are somehow beneath me, type of shit, right? I always say, man, that, crime shit or whatever I've been doing in the streets has always taken a whole lot more fucking care and custody than just getting up and going to fucking work and have somebody tell your ass what the fuck to do. But um, I used to say all the time, that um, I don't ever really trip off of the shit that I have to go through because the the choices that I've made have been voluntary, right? And those choices have not been because I'm a bad person. It's because I see things that somebody else doesn't, and I just don't think it's fair. So when it comes to selling weed or fucking coke or whatever the fuck somebody want to buy, right? I always say, man, the liquor store is right at the fucking corner, man, and I see way more drunk drivers killing motherfuckers than I do anybody smoking weed or speeding because they're trying to get to the fucking cocaine salesman or any of that shit. And you never twist nobody's arm to do business with you. It's always a voluntary thing. The thing about it is the government don't have no way to fucking regulate it. They haven't figured this out. Remember, this is when I'm in high school. You
Yeah,
fast forward 30 years, 40 years and shit, right?
they
And
do
now these
now.
motherfuckers figured it out. You know what I'm saying? They figured out how to get the fucking bread. And all the shit that I've been saying for all these years and shit, right? It's kind of turning out to be true. So the stigmas and shit that I've lived with all my life, because I've been getting arrested for pushing fucking narcotics. You know what I'm saying? It
HBO
just
making TV
disappears
shows about it.
all of a sudden. All of a sudden, I ain't a bad guy because the nigga from Canada get to make 10 million this year off the shit that I
Yeah,
walked off 10 years for. They can
yeah.
suck my ass. How about that?
Look, but
Right.
then the
All
thing is,
day
right?
though.
They
But
made a TV show about it. You know what I'm saying? Weed on what was that,
Man,
HBO or whatever?
weed,
Yeah.
right.
But now see the thing is, right?
that shit was
And
kind of
that
dope though.
The suburban mom weed grower. Shit, I'm a
you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
suburban
she had to
dad
be
weed
white
grower. Why I
though.
gotta go?
Right. But you're not white,
The
nigga.
fuck?
Because you're not white and cute and hump on anybody who asks you to hump on you. Well, I know, yeah, because you're an oak. But
Yeah.
average black dude,
This little
white. But
But
still, it's
suburban
different.
soccer mom community. Everybody was selling pot,
yeah.
and the show was
Or
good.
smoking and
I
eating
ain't
or
gonna
whatever.
lie, right?
Yeah, it was. That
And
show
I
was
used to be
fire.
mad. I
Hey, the
was
show
like,
was nice
shit, I
though.
be doing that shit. You would have
What the
had to be the
steward like?
black dude that was in. You'd have had to be what's the
Yeah, but
boy's
you're an
name?
oak though, bro.
Malachi.
Malachi?
Because You could have
No,
maneuvered your weed selling situation into a pure unadulterated slut fest, but that's just not who you are. So your shit could have been like weeds, nigga. Don't act like it couldn't have been, nigga. That's all I'm
That's
saying,
like
nigga.
Lake House
But
Chronicles
you,
all
my
over
friend,
again.
are an
I'd have
O.
been too
You know what I'm
tired,
saying?
man. I'd have been tired as a motherfucker.
So,
Lake House
Shit.
Chronicles.
hey,
You know,
but
I'm
you,
old.
my
I ain't
friend,
got
are
all
an
that
O,
kind of breath
nigga.
no
You know
more
what
and
I'm saying?
shit.
But just like this, right? So I gotta
Yeah.
give I gotta give credit to you, Keith, because I remember standing in front this, you know what I'm saying, behind these gates, and y'all know what I'm talking about, right? And you say, Nikki, you gotta build engines on cars from the ground up. You know what I'm saying? Like build a whole car. If I put a car back there, it give you all the stuff you need. That car be running in 3 days, right? And you said, why are you out here
What's
doing
up?
this right here? So I was like,
Nigga
well, I
out
got a
here
whole bunch of
committing
other stuff.
crime.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, no, you got business savvy, all the rest of it, man. What, like, you really with a bottle of Remy and your hair blowing in the wind with a red and black FUBU shirt on. I remember it distinctly. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, you took off. So I didn't take off. I was like, you know what? Let me take a little break. But you actually said that I could feel it going not so right, right? But
Oh
then,
yeah, and then my ass was gone.
but
but look, but then the cold part about it, right? When
but
after
I
that,
know how that can go though.
right after that, Frank, right? It's like, okay, well, let me put my skills to use as this young entrepreneur, right? So I took the same thing and applied it to where I call it squaring up. So I squared up, became this other tremendous businessman on a day. Hey, boom, get these T-shirts, get all this stuff. Go to the port, find all these African drums and all these things, and network within the whole thing that's coming into the port of Oakland and buying
Never go.
containers for, you know what I'm saying, my quarter piece of my,
Never go.
you know what I'm saying, quarter kicks, right?
Yep.
Bidding on it, getting it, and it's like, okay. So my thing is just like you said, man. When you come home, you know what I'm saying. I didn't hear from you for years. I don't want to talk to nobody. Like, man, you come home, I got you. Not that I got you. It's like, all right, man, you home now. All right, man, this is what going on with me right now, right? You know what I'm saying? Now you don't have to move out the ghetto, but I'm gonna come see you, or you come see me. But this is let me keep you to this new part of the game. There was no resent. It
Yep.
was no. It was no fight back or nothing. It was like, no, why did you? You know what I'm saying this and that, and it's like I heard the stories, but I was like, okay. Or then the one is like, hey, come over here and move my stuff out. Man, I got this other thing that's cracking right now. I'm in the middle of something. You was like, all right then. So I was like, but you know, I'll go. You know what I'm saying? To make the call allegedly, just like come iron this out. You know what I'm saying? About to go. And that was the last time for what, a couple of years. But
Yep.
you can't home. Then it's like, oh, all right, look, I got this extra 10. I got this. Oh, what you what? You know what I'm saying? Then the fifth sense kicked in.
Damn right. As soon as I seen, see, that's one thing about me, right? I ain't afraid to learn. I don't give a damn who's teaching, right? So when
Right.
I had been already hearing, Alicia had been telling me, yeah, Nick is, he got this girl and yeah, she sell things. I was like, she sell things? What the fuck does that mean? Like little trinkets and shit. So I had no idea, right?
Like,
I
nigga,
was
I
like, what
sell
is
things.
this nigga fucking with a voodoo woman or somebody, some arts and crafts ass type shit or what? I did not know what the fuck. And then when I got out, he came up there. I think was the Monterey Festival. It was one of them fucking festivals that I came up there for when I first got out. Me and Tamika I came up there, and I was like, "Oh, is that right?" I start asking questions. How much it costs to do this? So this space is how big? Okay, so this is two spaces. So how much is one of them? Oh, okay. Well, damn, is there somewhere else you can do this shit that's cheaper? Is that right?
Yeah. But
Oh,
then,
you got a
but
tent. You got a
yeah,
tent,
10 by 10.
nigga.
But then the thing is, right? Then it freaked over. It's like then I started putting my thing to use, right? I was like, well, I'm walking through the shopping center, right? The highest price shopping center. You know what I'm saying? Probably over there. It's like known from just the Monterey Pop Festival, Blues Festival, all these people coming in. So I'm like, oh, it's an empty space. How much is this one? It's like You know what I'm saying? With 75 whoopty wops a month. Okay. Well, if I boom, 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 boom this, I can make that in this amount of time. How much for this? Well, we'll give you a deal. If you go up in here, take it as is or whatever, we'll try to thing, but you have to cover just the base prices of just the advertisement or whatever. Make up the signs. So yeah, I go buy a freaking $5,000 sign or whatever, all like they got. Boom, run that, and we was all Gucci. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, the power of two people. You know what I'm saying? But taking that whole mentality and working it over and actually uh moving it on up. But like at one point it started getting dysfunctional because now you try to spread yourself too thin instead of focusing on the long game, just like you said. You know what I'm saying? Like this fast money is coming in. And that's the part that kind of, kicked it in the butt. Then it became, towards the end, it's like, it really wasn't it wasn't the two playing parts in the whole scenario together. And like you said, it's either ride or die or get off the bus. You know what I'm saying? Like for real.
So what was the premise of? I mean, like you would just go to any type of event, or did it have to be like specific event, or anywhere where they
No,
was
you
selling
pick
shit?
out.
Like you can
So
run
so
up
the
into
thing
a
is,
fucking
right?
festival,
You
So
pick
so
out
we
the.
had two
or
different
you
we
can run
had
up
two
on a
different
tailgate.
strategies. But Nick, you tell them your strategy first.
So my thing was that I actually go do research and find out what is the hottest thing that's going right now. You know what I'm saying? So it could have been remote control cars that spin around on his head. Woo! You know what I'm saying? So I actually go out and find this product at the cheapest price I could get them. Right? So, like for instance, like what was in trend at one time? Bead curtains came back around. You know the bead curtains, the room separators, right? So
Right.
I look on that, but the internet wasn't prominent like it is right now, right? So you actually had to beat the pavement and walk up and down wherever these wholesale places is, or what people had that was getting stuff from overseas and actually was wholesale to all these other stores. So at the particular time in the early 2000s, it was a part where okay, let's make it simple in this. Like any shirt that came out on Crenshaw, today was a good day. Such and such and all that. So I sorted out where to go to the producer of these t-shirts. So I can go buy my t-shirts wholesale, buy from here. Here, print them up. Boom, we got that. Remote control cars, uh, high-end scars. So went to Macy's. Everybody wanted these because Monterey is like San Francisco. It'd be cold in the summertime. So you come, got your own shorts. You get on Highway 1, freezing cold. You want what? A jacket, windbreaker, and a scarf. So I sorted out all the cashmere scarves. So then I develop a relationship with these people. So they'll call me first before anybody else. I get first pick of the litter. Boom. Then I morphed it over into high-end stores. Like I do two malls. Well, I do three malls. If I had enough people that could kind of run it instead of running myself in. So I do the three major shopping centers, the three major malls. So Capitola, Northridge, and and the Monterey Mall, right? Del Monte Shopping Center. Boom. So I get an empty store. So like the Fresh Choice closed down, right? So I say, oh, Fresh Choice, I got what 2,500 square feet. Boom. I'm in there to win it. But then start bringing other people in. You know what I'm saying? Later on in these years, before I was just doing this solo bolo. My grandmother came up there and see the magic of whatever. You know what I'm saying? That it actually went out like that. So stuff from all over the world, from Africa until they started having band on like the drums and stuff like that. But I was getting wooden sculptures, you know what I'm saying? But then I started buying them wholesale and put them in my house. I had a whole house full of wooden African statues, dog, like from everywhere. 6 foot tall, everything. So then it moved over to Keith once I got that established. So that was the line or whatever where he was actually in the part where I used to have to travel for miles because I was always on the road with a big ass, you know what I'm saying, extended cargo van. Fill it up, baby. It morphed over into Keith's thing.
So then
But then, so he,
So then
then I did over like
my
the
thing,
other.
what'd you say, Nick?
I said, but then the other major key part because Monterey is a destination, so you'll do like the Rolex races, like the high end car races. But these people, it's like you can't sell the stuff reasonable price. We came out here to spend our husband's money, and here you go, pass me this car. Oh, Mason selling for $100. Well, here go $125, and you better sell them as that $125 like that. Don't give us stuff cheap. We want to feel like we're spending money. And I was like, the mental thing. Their husband over here buying,
Okay.
you know, saying $250,000 cars. I say, okay, I'm gonna give you our original price. That's like reasonable, and you driving that $100,000 car over there, reasonable. You selling this stuff for this cheap. You should be ashamed of yourself. No, I'm saying call like that. Call like that, dog.
Right.
Matt.
Gotta know the market.
Yeah.
Goddamn it.
Oh, I was
How
just
did
saying
it?
that my approach was different because I was starting out with, limited dollars, right? So the way that we attacked it was we was finding flea markets, the outdoor swap meets and shit like that, right? And we would buy a space for anything under $60. Whereas Nick's spaces was, they shit was like, 400 for the weekend and that kind of shit, or however much. Higher than that. I'm just talking about bottom number. So
Right. Basic.
are we all in? Yeah, we still all in. So are we all still in?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, my
Yep.
Wi-Fi is really fucked up. Oh, so anyway, I was doing shit like Victorville swap meet and shit, right? Uh, on whatever days they was open, and that shit was like $27 for the space. And then I was selling T-shirts. Remember when all the girls was wearing the BB, sexy, uh, all these different little fucking
With the
juicy
gems on.
fucking
With the
shit
gems on
on
them.
shirt,
All that shit.
Oh,
right?
I took you over
Right,
there.
with the little
Yeah.
gems on them, right? So Nick
Right.
plugged me with the motherfuckers that, what I'm saying, sold those fucking shirts, or they actually pressed them, what I'm saying, and
Right.
you was paying probably I think like $2 a shirt or some shit like that. Then you selling them for $5, but you selling them because everybody was wearing them. So we would do shit like we would do a swap meet in fucking Huntington Beach where nobody don't speak English and do good. But then
Yeah.
there was times where, you know, shit, we did the rhodium and made $16. That's all we sold. $16 worth of shit. We had
Wow.
purses, t-shirts, and little bullshit, fake Fat Farm little earrings and sandals and shit like that. Shit for the quote unquote hood girls at that particular time. So we stayed selling out of shit. It was like, it was like selling white tees. It was
Mm-hmm.
like selling white tees to girls. You know what I'm saying? And so we did that shit for like a
Right.
year, man. I wasn't doing shit. That shit fell apart because of car problems.
Yeah. But then the thing is, right? I
Then
love
after
how we
all that
went
shit
to.
was over, this nigga
Wow.
buy me a car. This nigga buy me a This nigga bought me a car, nigga. Look, a Dodge Neon, nigga. I had the whole store in the Dodge.
Shopping
Am I
for it.
bullshitting,
Uh,
Nick?
allegedly,
Tent,
I had to hide my money.
fucking no, I'm talking about tent,
Oh
fucking
yeah, 10.
buckets, all the inventory, nigga, everything. I went to jail on Figueroa, nigga, with all the shit trying to sell a fucking prostitute a purse, nigga, at 5:30 in the morning.
Oh my
Wow.
god!
I'm so not bullshitting, right?
I remember.
I'm so not bullshitting, man. They took
You
my
know, I
ass to
got these
jail and
right
shit.
here.
Talking about soliciting. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm trying to
I got a
sell
wholesale
purses, man. I got a trunk full of this shit, man. You see, you think I'm just out here with a purse, nigga? What do you think?
Empty purse,
Right.
no bad. But
Fucking
look,
crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, with the paper inside this bitch, with the tag on it. Come on, man. Well, where'd you get these from? Come on, man. What you want to
I
see
got
my
my
seller's
wholesale.
permit, bro? What the fuck? Motherfucker,
But
kiss my ass
Hey,
and
that
shit.
that like I'm saying, like, could you take that shit to like festivals and shit, like music
Yeah,
festivals and
that's
every
that.
shit,
Yeah,
yeah,
everything. That's exactly
you know what
what you
I'm
do when you
depending on
go
what you're
to a
selling.
festival and you be seeing motherfuckers with their tent selling shit. You know what I'm saying? If you go to the fucking African marketplace when they have that shit down uh, at the park over behind Dorsey, you know what I'm saying? You see motherfuckers selling shit all in them tents. It's that kind of shit. It's paying for them spaces and selling your shit to the foot traffic that's generated by whatever event they having. So when they're having like a jazz festival, it's always good, especially if you're selling shit that's gonna appeal to an older black female crowd. So all the shit, man, Nick Nick and them used to sell. Look, they did the fucking Pride Festival up there in Monterey, right?
everything.
This nigga's wife at the time said, "Oh, look, I got a whole box of these Hawaiian leis that's in the fucking rainbow color, and I got a box of all these different sizes of fucking flip flops. Remember the old school flip flops, the pink ones and the blue ones that split your toe? Them
Right,
old motherfuckers with the little button that goes
right.
through the middle of them.
Oh
You
yeah.
always
Oh,
right
gluing the little
that I
things
should
on the
never
glue the
catch
rainbow.
that I should never
Always
catch a
come off,
man
yeah,
with putting his toes
yeah.
in and shit, right?
Yeah.
You was running
Yeah,
the
so
whole
damn. So
whole
she's
top
like, I
off
got
them
a glue
bitches.
gun. She's like, I got a glue gun and shit. I can make something for the gay people. And shit, I don't know how much of that shit Nick helped with, but she was in that motherfucking storage space, hot gluing motherfucking flowers to the goddamn to the
Sandals.
fucking to the flip flops and sold them all.
Sold them all.
Sold them
You know what I'm
all.
saying?
Hell yeah,
And and, and,
that's
and, and
gangster
and
shit.
that was the part, Frank, that what I'm saying, because like even the high
Right
ones, let me
there.
tell you.
They had some motorcycle dudes that was kind of looking at Nick a little bit, right? Kind of making her feel uncomfortable. When I say motorcycle, when I say motorcycle dudes, I mean like
Chaps.
YMCA village people motorcycle dudes, right?
Motorcycle, yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
Some
with chaps,
motorcycle
chaps
dudes on the
with no
weekend.
drawers on. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
ass
yeah, yeah.
out with the chaps,
Hey, at least
with
you
a
know you're
leather
not ugly,
vest
man.
on.
At least you know
So
you're
the thing,
appealing, and our gay
but yeah,
audience
I
Nick
will
I
love
wife was
you.
clowning. Nick wife was clowning too. Pinky was like, "Look, Nick, they looking at you. Go on and sell them something." Nick was like, "I don't play that shit."
Hey, Harvey, they probably would have gave you a tip, Harvey. You should be like, "Hey, sailor."
That nigga said that ain't the kind of tip he looking for.
You should be
I
like,
should try to find me a
"Woo!"
scam prostitute,
Right,
man.
Harvey.
That
Hey, she
ain't the
trying to get
type of
that top
tip my
dollar, Harvey.
nigga looking for.
You know what I'm saying? So
All
I
right, look,
like
I
That's
was finally
hilarious,
able to
yo.
get back in on the fucking whack ass computer and shit. So let's go on in this while I can. Anything any one of y'all want to say in closing?
man, this was
Quickly.
Yeah,
real.
man. Go ahead, Nick. So,
I say thank y'all for another after all this time, another wonderful, you know what I'm saying, intellectual conversation that didn't get out of hand because the mermaid wasn't in here. You know what I'm saying? We used to get out of control, but it was kind of on the straight and narrow, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was thank y'all. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
hey, I love
Right?
you guys. Like, share, subscribe. I miss being in front of this joint. I miss being in the pond. You know, I'm a football dad now, so I got obligations and shit. But, you know, I relish the shit. We got to talk about a Saturday show or something because, you know what I'm saying? We got to do
Oh yeah.
something. But,
Something can definitely be
like, share, and
worked out.
subscribe, man. Hit us over there on goddamn YouTube, man. Get us some support over there and be good in the hood, man. Hey, and happy Father's Day, for real. For all my fathers, man, that was out there
Yeah.
doing their thing. It's belated. It's Monday, but I hope y'all had great days, man, and good time for sure.
That's right. I want to send a shout out to the mermaid. Get well. Hit me up tonight, or I have to fucking take a flight on your ass. Shout out to
Come
all
after
the
you.
dads. Yeah, shout out to all the dads. Hope y'all all had a good weekend. About to lose. Thanks for joining us on Facebook and YouTube Live. Join us on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe. Give us shits. Y'all know what to do. We have been live at 5/7 Central from the Piranha Pond, and now we are.